Hey guys, welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast, your daily free guide for inner child healing. This podcast helps you establish a consistent reparenting routine and is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading, the second is a discussion of that reading followed by suggested journal prompts, and the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad that you can join us for this journey of healing, self-expansion, and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. Now, before we dive in, I'd like to remind us that we've passed the 500 marker of Reparenting Daily. As a celebration of that, I've opened the Patreon community for free membership so that you can join our Zoom calls for free. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and many people are struggling. And so my hope with this is to encourage others to take up the serious work of reparenting on themselves and to offer and provide a free community where people can do that. I'd also like to personally thank all of you who have been along for the journey so far. Just as a reminder, this is a free podcast, but I do sell the Reparenting Daily Journal where you can follow us along with all the monthly and weekly themes, and where you can also join us in our free Zoom calls to reflect on the weekly themes as we make our way through the year. This is something that I've opened up for free, but you can purchase the journal if you'd like to support the podcast. You can also just copy the themes within your own journal and follow us along there. If you'd like to support us in other ways, you can also join the Patreon with a paid subscription or also donate on Buy Me a Coffee. Just as a reminder, I've created another resource called Fairy Tales for Reparenting. This is a 3-volume series that organizes fairy tales from around the world into the 3 phases of the hero's journey, from beginning, middle, to end. Now, these are fairy tales that come from Grimm's fairy tales and other traditions and other cultures around the world. And while you might think that fairy tales are for kids, actually, these stories contain profound truths and lessons that we can use in our reparenting journey. So these books are a very simple and creative way to connect to your inner child. I'd like to send a very warm thank you to Maria, who has been helping me to edit the books since I had some difficulties in the fall and I've had some issues with my eyes. So now the first 2 volumes are available on Amazon in ebook or regular book format, so you can check those out, and we'll be working on that last volume to release to you as soon as possible. But again, these stories are ways to connect with lessons that are shared across different cultures, to reconnect with your inner child, and to really teach yourself some lessons that have been carried down for centuries and millennia. As we're passing episode 550, I'd like to also turn your attention to the fact that I've changed the meditation at the end of the podcast, and so you can check that out now for a new experience of binaural beats. So this helps with binaural stimulation from the left to right ear, a bit like a replication of the EMDR experience. So I'm hoping that this can help bring you guys some relief, and we'll have other meditations coming soon as we progress with the rest of the year. So with these announcements now out of the way, let's dive into today's practice. Today's reading is a poem by Stacy. Just as a reminder, we're in November and the theme is gratitude and abundance. We're in week 2, and the theme for this week is shifting from scarcity to abundance. As always, you can find the link in the show notes in case you want to look at the poem deeper in its original format and find out more about Stacy Kong.
To be human is to be hungry. Wait long enough and you'll know what I mean. As the hours pass, a fragile emptiness swells like a balloon from within until the ache is unbearable, and the only way to find relief is to eat. Absorb a sweet flavor until it melts like honey, surrendering itself to revive you. It's so primal, we barely question it. We'll devour anything that looks good and bright and glistens under the sun. When Adam and Eve stood beneath the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, light dancing around them like fragments in a chandelier, God forbade them to eat. From the beginning of time, to eat was to believe, to take in what you trust to give you life. I've tasted the fruit they picked again and again. The hunger is overwhelming as I gorge at an endless buffet of success, pride, and pleasure, draining every last drop of flavor. The ghost of a meal crumbles like ash falling through my fingers. With empty hands, I crawl across a lifetime, reaching toward my Father in heaven. And when I see him in the distance, I shrink back, knowing in my soul I'm not worthy to be seen. But he runs to me. He wraps his arms around and pulls me in, rejoicing. The feast he sets before me is unlike anything the world has ever known. Abundance beyond measure, like eating and feeling full for the first time. Spread across the table is manna, thin wafers scattered like grace across the wilderness of my life. At the center, bread. Jesus broke it and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take and eat. This is my body." Beside it, a cup overflowing with mercy, his blood poured out in place of mine, his life given to bring me home. The weight of his sacrifice bends the fabric of existence. If my thirst was a droplet, his was an ocean he drank down to the dregs, the cup of wrath not passed from him. If my hunger was a grain of sand, his was the desert he endured for 40 days and 40 nights, yet without sin. His death on the cross, a black hole, pulling sin and sorrow into himself. The sky went dark, the veil torn in two. But his resurrection, a radiant supernova, the trumpet sound at the end of an age, a stone rolled back to unveil eternity. To be human is to be hungry. The only way to be satisfied is to savor the wedding supper of the Lamb when Christ is united with his church and there is revival.
In the poem Abundance, we hear a clarion call to release the tight fist of fear and open slowly into the wide expanse of plenty. For you, sir, whose path has been shaped by abandonment, lack, and silent teaching of survival rather than nourishment, this summon carries an extra weight. The words in this poem reverberate with the whisper of the child within you, who waited for a father's words of safety, a mother's arms of comfort, now being told, yes, you belong, yes, there's enough for you. In this month of gratitude and abundance, it's not about piling up possessions or accolades, but about recognizing that inner safety you long for has always been available when you shift your posture from there's never enough to there's more than enough. As you're reparenting your inner self, the poem becomes a mirror, the voice of your good father or good mother saying you are worthy, you are enough, abundance is your birthright. In week 2's theme, the shift from scarcity to abundance, you are invited to rewire your nervous system. Every time you believe the household, the world, or your own mind when it said not enough, you internalized a scarcity script. Now you get to practice a new script. You can say, not verbatim, but in feeling, I have enough. I am enough. I receive what is good. That reception opens the valve for connection, community, creativity, as well as healing. This poem challenges a deeper truth as well. Abundance shows up not just in what we get, but in what we recognize we already have. Breathing, a beating heart, our presence, a witness within the soul that survived. As you build your work in reparenting, you're helping others recognize that too. Your own story of fathering and mothering the child within becomes proof that abundance is not external, it's an awakening. Gratitude becomes the doorway. The shift from scarcity isn't about earning a seat at the table, it's about remembering you've always had a seat within you. Let the poem be the echo of that remembering. As we go into the journal prompts today, number 1, where in my life am I still operating from the belief of not enough? Time, love, money, safety, presence? How does it show up in my body, thoughts, and interactions? Number 2, if I were to speak to my inner child as a wise, kind parent, what words of abundance and safety would I say? Write that letter or conversation out in full. And number 3, what is one area, however small, where I can receive rather than strive or defend, allowing myself to rest in the truth that I am enough and that there is enough? How will I mark or embody that reception? That's it for today. As always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself, and please do be well. Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please go ahead and find a space where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Take a moment to simply be with yourself. Focus on your breath and gently connect with each part of your body. If thoughts arise, don't let them overwhelm you. Just observe them without attachment. Imagine them as leaves drifting down atop a river, passing by without needing your engagement. Stay present, grounded, and open to this moment.